Professor Njuguna Ndung'u, the Governor of the Central Bank of Kenya, representing Honorable Henry Rotich, Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of National Treasury of Kenya, Mr. Gabriel Negatu, the representative of the President of the African Development Bank, Mr. James Karanja, representing the host DFI and also a member of the Executive Committee of the AADFI and CEO of IDB. Mr. James Amihari, Secretary General of the Association of African Development Finance Institutions, distinguished CEOs of AADFI DFI member institutions, representatives of ministers of finance and central bank governors from the region present here. Good morning. I wish to welcome you on behalf of the Executive Committee of the AADFI to the 2013 Annual AADFI CEO Forum here in Mombasa. First, on behalf of the AADFI Secretariat and the Executive Committee, let me express our appreciation to the government and the people of the Republic of Kenya for the facilities, hospitality, and cordial atmosphere extended to us that permit the holding of this event. We sincerely thank His Excellency, President Uhuru Kenyatta and his government for the recognition of DFIs as an important vehicle for catalyzing development. I understand that Kenya has got 5 active DFIs, and this is a very important milestone in terms of recognizing their role. We also thank him for the support extended by his government towards strengthening these DFIs, including through building their capacity, strengthening governance, and efforts towards providing a conducive regulatory regime. I want to personally thank the Honorable Minister through Governor Njuguna for honoring our invitation to grace this occasion. I would like to extend our most heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Kaberuka and the African Development Bank's commitment and support towards strengthening the African national and sub-regional DFI, particularly the bank's contribution in evolving and supporting the AADFI prudential standards, guidelines, and rating system. Last but not least, I would like to extend special thanks to Mr. James Karanja, the Managing Director of IDB Capital, for hosting this forum in collaboration with Mr. Lucas Meso, the Managing Director of the Agricultural Finance Corporation, Mr. Peter Kimurwa, Managing Director of Industrial and Commercial Development Corporation, Mr. Julius Mukogi, Managing Director of Kenya Industrial Estates Limited, and Mrs. Marianne Ndegwa Jordan, Managing Director of the Tourist Finance Corporation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll now proceed with my speech by making reference to the speech made by Dr. Kaberuka, President of the African Development Bank, at the AACB Symposium on Financial Inclusion in Africa, held in Mauritius in August 2013. In his speech, he emphasized that the issues of inclusion and quality of growth are what should determine the future of Africa's growth. He also pointed out that the management of our natural resources at all stages of the value chain and infrastructure development as 2 major decisive factors for Africa's development. Indeed, in addressing the challenges of development in the African continent, the role of development finance institutions is increasingly becoming critical. It has been established that the infrastructure gap in Africa is in the order of $93 billion per annum, while financing gap for SMEs ranges between $140 to $170 billion per annum. It is in this light that we regard the development and strengthening of African DFIs as a key strategy in achieving the aim of filling this gap. While we see the potential role for national DFIs in financing infrastructure and SMEs, most of them are not well positioned to effectively undertake this mandate. Only well-governed, capitalized, and supervised national DFIs can be able to fulfill this mandate. The Association of African Development Financial Institutions has long recognized these challenges, and with the support of African Development Bank, it has created a mechanism to address some of these challenges, namely the prudential standards, guidelines, and rating system, and its peer review mechanism. So the PSGRS mechanism provides an opportunity for DFIs to assess their performance in comparison with their peers in the areas of governance, operational, financial, and prudential standards. Through various channels, including the CEO Forum, AADFI engages policymakers in African governments to implement the provisions of the PRGS, which are beyond the control of the DFIs, especially those concerning governance and independence. Moreover, central banks and other regulators are urged to embrace the PRGS and incorporate these standards in assessing the soundness of the DFIs. The PSRGS aims to provide a strong base for enhancing corporate governance, financial soundness, and operational benchmarks of the African national DFIs, leading to their efficiency and hence be able to fulfill their mandate. Ladies and gentlemen, you will recall that the Association of African Development Financial Institutions has, since its creation in 1975, continued to promote activities that support African national and sub-regional DFIs in their efforts towards achieving their mandates. The CEO's Forum is the main platform through which the association articulates issues that concern the DFIs and Africa's socio-economic development in general. The forum is a crowning activity in the annual calendar of the association and has contributed